Yeah, it's your boy Nas 1500. I'm telling y'all, I'm back in the. We about to get into this geometrical weather. Now, I know this probably ain't into y'all shit, but this type of shit I like. This type of shit I watch. You know? So I always been into the weather and shit. You did. I be on my little app, my radar. So if you ever need a weather app, something, sit down. Sit down. Down. Doing too much, bro. That's why I need to get my shit from my dog's room. Well, that ain't my dog room. This is my room. One of my rooms. But still, look, about to get into this weather app, or this weather shit. See what it's looking like for the rest of the winter. Yeah, I'm from Louisiana, so we about to. Well, I'm from New Orleans. I ain't from Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans. Let's get that straight. Down. Down. Fuck, you doing too fucking much, man. I got time for that shit. Look, man, let's get into it. The winter's looking very weird. Ryan Hard, yo. Every time they got a stone coming or something like that, and they watching it, I'm on game. So I appreciate Ryan Hard, y'all. I appreciate y'all putting this information out just so I can watch it. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Ryan Hard, y'all. Let's see what they talk about, dude.
Interesting, because right now, all around the globe, there are major weather pattern changes going on. And of course, we've talked about this before. All of these weather pattern changes are going to ultimately affect our weather here in the United States. Arctic blasts, blizzards, and even severe weather are all going to be on the table once again. But the interesting part this year is exactly...
Man, motherfucking noise, nigga. The fuck wrong with them? They thinking the noise cool? I don't want to hear that shit.
Where those things are going to happen. You
Probably
see,
no
in this
copyright
video,
on
we're
that.
not looking at a simple forecast. This is the story of a battle, a massive tug of war between competing forces in our atmosphere. On one side, we've got a weak and faltering La Nina trying to take control down in the Pacific Ocean, and on the other side, there's a wild card sitting 60,000 feet above the North Pole, the polar vortex. And it's showing some signs of instability that could unleash some serious Arctic cold. The result? We're looking at a winter on a knife's edge. A winter that's going to create two very different...
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. New Orleans just got that motherfucking, that snow not too long ago now. Now, I ain't saying we can't get no snow. But make sure you tell a nigga way ahead of time. Cause nigga was not prepared. Nigga snow. Nigga was cool the first day. It was like, alright, we can stay inside the first day. Yeah, have our kids outside in the snow. Have our kids outside in the motherfucking snow. It's cool. It's cool. Now the next 2 days, niggas was trying to get to work. Niggas was, yeah, that shit was hard. I was moving around that shit. We couldn't even get on the bridge. We couldn't get on none of our bridges. Like, we can't get on no bridges, bro. That shit was crazy. We ain't have, New Orleans ain't have snow since really. Well, snow like that, we ain't have snow like that. Like, north of 10 plus inches. About, I think it's like the 60s, 1960. It's 2025. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the 60s. We have like a lot of snow. The last time we had snow was like '08. And that was like a slither of snow. Like less than 3 inches type shit. So, you know.
Americas. Some of you are going to be dealing with relentless snow and bone-chilling cold. Others, we're going to be talking about a warm and dry winter, maybe even with some drought conditions. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly where that cold and snow is going to hit the hardest, so let's get right into it. Let's start off with the main player in our winter forecast, and that's what's happening right now in the Pacific Ocean. You've probably heard about El Nino and La Nina by now, but what we're dealing with this year is something different. It's weak, almost ghostly. NOAA issued a La Nina watch back on August 14th, which sounds official and scary, but here's the thing. Latest models only give it a 42% chance of actually developing. That means there's a 52% chance we stay neutral all winter. And not only that, but 6 out of the 8 international models are actually calling for neutral conditions. So we're really on the fence here. Now let me explain what this means for our weather. Think of a classic strong La Nina like dropping a giant boulder into a river. That boulder forces all the water, and in our case, we're talking about the jet stream and storm track, to flow around it in a very predictable way. It pushes everything north, giving us cold and snowy winters up in the north and warm, dry conditions down south. It's reliable, it's consistent, and it's powerful. But this year, with ocean temperatures sitting just 0.3 degrees Celsius below average, that's barely crossing the threshold to even call it a La Nina. Our boulder is more like a pebble in this scenario, maybe a marble at best. The pebble is there, you can see it trying to form, but it's fragile and it's easily disrupted. One good atmospheric wave could wash it away entirely. And that's why this winter is going to be so volatile. We don't have a strong driver keeping things locked in place. Now here's where things get really interesting. Despite all that uncertainty I just talked about, the weak La Nina, the fence-sitting models, when we look...
Bro, I don't know nothing about the El Nino. Say, don't look at me as no fucking meteorologist. Fuck you talk about, man. I was just in this bitch looking, bitch. I'm learning just like y'all, you hear me? I don't know nothing about this shit. But I be on around her, y'all be on his channel. I'm telling y'all, every hurricane the country, Ida, Barry, nigga went through all of that. He said Barry was gonna be pooped. He said Ida was gonna come through doing the Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And pass by. Shit like that. So, you know, everything he said happened. That's the only reason why I'm into it.
At just the long-range supercomputers, something remarkable happens. The American model, the European model, the Canadian model, they're all showing the same thing. And when all of these models agree like this, we have to pay attention. What they're showing is a winter of two halves, a great divide that's going to split our country right across the middle. And I mean that literally. Draw a line across the middle of the United States. And for everyone in the southern tier, we're talking about California all the way down into the Carolinas. These models are showing a warmer and drier winter. This is something that you're used to. The models are showing temperature departures of 2 to 4 degrees above normal and precipitation that could be 20 to 40% below average. If you're in the southwest, this means that drought conditions are probably going to get worse. And if you're in the southeast, well, at least your heating bills may be a little bit lower. But for the northern tier, you better get ready. This is where things are actually going to be somewhat interesting this year. The models are pointing to a colder and wetter season. We're talking about enhanced storm tracks, more frequent Arctic intrusions, and yes, more snow. And here's...
New Orleans always fucking hot, man. New Orleans always fucking hot. New Orleans gotta be like the most humid city in the state. Like, humid. New Orleans was small to be fucking raining all the fucking time. Like, now I ain't gonna stand. If we get this cool winter, like this cool dry winter, this might be the best winter ever for fucking New Orleans. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cool and dry. Well, brother, like cool, like I'm talking about like it's winter cool, like it's 70 between 75, between 72 and like 66. 74 and 66. We're like, cause it's always hot, it's always humid out here. So like regardless, it's gonna be a lot hotter on a regular. You feel me? But if we get we don't need no wall. We can do the dry. I love the dry because it's always raining. It rains at least two, 3 times a week. Like it's 2-3 times a week. You hear me? It rain damn near every day. At least for like an hour or something. So you know.
The key part, where these two different air masses collide, where that cold northern air meets the warm southern air, that's our battleground. That's where we're going to see our biggest storms, our heaviest snowfalls, and potentially some serious severe weather too. This transition area is essentially going to be ground zero for weather drama this winter. But once again, we're doing some long-range forecasting here, so nothing's set in stone. I got to mention again, everything I just told you could be completely overridden by one major player. There's another player that's involved here that we haven't talked about yet. And to understand this wild card truly, we need to look way up into the stratosphere, about 60,000 feet above the North Pole. That's where the polar vortex lives. Now, I know everybody loves to talk about the polar vortex like it's some sort of scary monster. You probably heard the news screaming about it and trying to scare you. But let me tell you what the polar vortex actually is. Think of it as a massive spinning top made of frigid Arctic air. When that top is spinning fast and stable, all that cold air stays locked up in the North Pole, where it belongs. And we stay perfectly mild down here in the mid-latitude. Life is good. But here's the crucial detail that we're concerned.
Life is good.
About this winter. When you combine La Nina conditions with the current
You know what I need? I need to do. I need to see what the fuck is going on for real. Like I don't know what the fuck. La Nina, kamikaze, neutral going. But this is neutral line. This how it should go in a regular. You know what I'm saying? This how it should go. But the La Nina and the El Nino is damn near the same thing. And it's possible in the middle of the season. It's possible for the El Nino to hit in the middle of the season. Natural and a regular. What's this one? This must be the 50% possibility.
Atmospheric setup, we get a 60 to 75% chance of a major polar vortex disruption. We call this a sudden stratospheric warming event, which that name is kind of ironic because it leads to major cold down here. When one of these disruptions happens, it's like someone just opened the freezer door for the entire country. That spinning top wobbles, slows down, and sometimes even splits in two. And when it does, all that Arctic air that was locked up around the North Pole comes spilling down into North America. We're talking about temperature drops of 15 to 25 degrees below normal, wind chills that can hit minus 30, minus 40, and even minus 50 in some areas. And these aren't just little baby quick minus 40 and even 25 degrees below normal down into North America. We're talking about the air that was locked up around the North Pole comes spit.
Sure, old freak. That's how you wish your bitch was. Matter of fact, hold on, let me get my punch, man.
Down into North America. We're talking about temperature drops of 15 to 25 degrees below normal, wind chills that can hit minus 30, minus 40, and even minus 50 in some areas. And these aren't just little baby quick hits. These things can
minus 50? Minus 50? That's crazy.
To 25 degrees below normal, wind chills that can hit minus 30, minus 40.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at this right here. What the fuck? 50 minus 50? You telling me nigga could get... That's just a little clip of...
25 degrees below normal, wind chills that can hit minus 30, minus 40. And
all right, we good. We gonna get about 50 something, 40 something. I'm cool. That's 30 drop. That's the 30 drop. But if we don't get no... I'm be inside. I got a steak for this something. I'm inside. This one to dog. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog.
Even minus 50 in some areas.
That's
and these aren't
crazy,
just little
bro.
baby
Minus
quick
50?
hits either. These things can last 4 to 8 weeks, completely overriding whatever pattern we thought we were in. And based on the current setup, and once again, this is long-range forecasting. It's mostly for fun. We'll know more as we get closer to these events happening, but I'm expecting 2 to 3 major disruption events this winter, with the highest risk period being from January through early March. And when they hit, these are going to be the stories we all remember from this winter for years to come. Okay, so now that we've went over the overview, let's get specific about what you can expect in your backyard this winter. Starting with the Pacific Northwest, and we're talking about Seattle and Portland, and you guys are in for a wild ride this winter. You're sitting directly in the path of the enhanced storm track, and you're actually the only region in the entire country where the models are very confident in consistent cooler than normal temperatures, not just dependent on the polar vortex. We're looking at a 33 to 40% probability of below normal temps. But something that we always have to think about up here is atmospheric rivers, and with that enhanced storm track, that does look like something that we're going to experience on a pretty regular basis up here this winter. In the Cascades, I think we're going to look at 20 to 40% above normal snowpack, If you're a skier, this is your year. And if you're worried
Facts.
about water supply for summer, you can breathe a little bit easier. Now let's move over to the northern plains and into the Great Lakes region. We're talking about Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, and Buffalo. You guys are going to be in the front lines of the Arctic invasions this year. When that polar vortex wobbles, you are going to feel it. And let's talk about lake effect snow, because this pattern is...
I ain't gonna lie, when we went to Chicago, when my brothers went to Chicago, it was so fucking warm. It wasn't humid, it was just, the sun was out. And I was not expecting it to be that hot. You heard me? It was really hot as fuck. Like, not gonna lie, it was hot as fuck.
Absolutely primed for that. We're
Still
looking at air, water, temperature differences.
We'll be back for Black Guy Beach. Pop up.
Of 15 to 20 degrees Celsius during major events. And for those of you who might not know what that means, it's just essentially the perfect ingredient for those intense snow bands that can dump up to 3 feet of snow in a very short period of time. If you're near the southern shores of Lake Superior or Michigan, I'm expecting 20 to 40% above normal snowfall rates down here. And it's not just lake effect snow. We're also going to be looking at the return of the Alberta Clipper this year. This is something that we haven't had to deal with a lot in recent years. These fast-moving little storms that zip down from Canada, they're going to be much more frequent this year. Each one might only drop 3 to 6 inches of snow, but they're going to happen very often. Now, let's go down to the southwest. And I wish I had better news for you, but this is going to be a tough winter. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, the models are all showing a 33 to 50% probability of above normal temperatures. With a persistent ridge of high pressure parking itself over your region. We're talking about 40% below normal precipitation, and you're already in drought conditions down here, so expect it to get much worse. And in Southern California, we've got to be especially vigilant for fire weather, which I think will be a big problem. Now, let's...
Everything in California burns. I went to Cali too. I went to Cali and Vegas. This is hot. Like, so hot you can't even, like, it's so hot in Cali that you can't even water your plants. You get a ticket for watering your plants. You heard me? Yeah. You get a ticket for watering your plants. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It might be just LA. Man, that was nigga told her that they can't even water their plants. Like, they don't even got that much water. They don't get no water. They don't get no rain. Like,
scoot back up into the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We're talking about St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus. Welcome to the Storm Track Battleground. You're going to be right there where the cold air from the Arctic...
That shit gonna come right down to us. Every storm that's in that area, that area right here. Let me see, go back.
West in the Ohio Valley. We're talking...
All this shit right here. All this shit right here gonna fall right to us.
About St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus. Welcome to the Storm Track Battleground. You're going to be right there where the cold air from the Arctic is going to be colliding with that warm, moist air from the Gulf. And as always, when those two air masses meet, things get really interesting. Now, looking at the long-range data, here's what stands out to me most. Ice storms. The freezing rain potential is running 35 to 40% above normal this year, especially for northern Texas into Oklahoma, maybe over into Missouri. The large-scale synoptic pattern that we're going to be in just kind of screams ice storm potential for this region, so get ready for that. But it's not just ice. With the subtropical jet setting up shop around 30 to 35 degrees north latitude, you're also looking at an enhanced severe weather risk. Yes, I said severe weather in winter.
We already
get
a lot of tornadoes and shit like that.
Thunderstorms with rotation-producing tornadoes.
That area of Oklahoma, they already get tornadoes. Tornadoes, whirlwinds, and all that shit. That's what they be getting. Oklahoma and shit like that, Tennessee. That's what they know for.
Like,
we know for hurricanes.
We've seen this a lot in recent years. This will be another year that's going to be a big risk for us. And the temperature swings, well, get ready for more weather whiplash. You might be wearing shorts one day and then experiencing a blizzard the next. It should be in...
That boy explained New Orleans. Or accident. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting winter in the Ohio Valley. Now, let's go over to the Northeast. From Philly up through Boston and into Maine, you're looking at an exceptionally active winter. And I mean exceptionally. From everything that I can tell from these long-range models, and remember, this stuff is going to change, but I think it's definitely safe to say that we're going to have 6 to 9 significant nor'easters this year. It's a bold prediction, I know, especially with the drought of significant nor'easters this year. I think it's definitely safe to say that we're going to have 6 to 9 significant nor'easters this year. It's a bold prediction, I know, especially with the drought of nor'easter activity that we've been having. Things are looking more favorable for that kind of pattern this year. And here's what's driving this. The North Atlantic Oscillation is expected to start positive in early winter, keeping things relatively mild. But by February and March, it's likely flipping negative. And that's when crap's going to hit the fan. A negative NAO means blocking patterns near Greenland that cause storms to slow down, intensify, and hammer the coast. And peak storm activity looks to be around February through March, so don't get fooled by the mild and seemingly inactive.
So they basically said they're going to give them like some hurricanes?
Winter, it's going to end with a bang. Now let's go into the southeastern United States. We're talking about Atlanta, Charlotte, down through Florida. You guys are going to get the warm end of this pattern. Temperatures are going to run 2 to 4 degrees.
Bro, Florida's so hot, dog. Florida's humid. Florida not humid. Florida's just a different type of hot. Like, no shade.
Above normal, and precipitation rates are going to be 20 to 30%
Even
below
on the beach,
normal. Pretty much, this is the area that is going to be most boring this winter. There's nothing exceptional about this. This is actually a pattern that we've seen before, and we're quite used to down here. The one thing that we've really got to watch out for is severe weather. If we do get these big high-amplitude troughs and ridges moving through, we're going to see a couple of big storm systems that could lead to tornado outbreaks and stuff.
What did I say? What did I say? I told y'all everything that's going to happen is going to come straight to us. It's happened every time. Everything, like, it just somehow everything
down in the southeast, so we'll have to watch out for that. But for the most part, things are looking relatively calm in the southeast this winter. And if we do get those big polar vortex events, there's going to be 1 or 2 times throughout the winter where it's going to get noticeably colder. Maybe even a few records might be broken in the northern extent of this area. But once again, I don't see a very memorable winter in the southeast. Now, you might be thinking, how are you so confident in these forecasts, Ryan? Well, I'm not. This is long-range forecasting. A lot of it is, subject to change, but this is our best guess right now. And one of the things that allows us to have a best guess is history. We've seen all of this happen before. In fact, the winter of 2010 to 2011 is our best match. There's an 85% pattern matching similarity to what we're expecting to see in the 2025-2026 winter season. That winter brought absolute chaos to the Northeast with record snowfall. Some areas got 140% of their normal annual snowfall. Some other analogs.
140%? What the hell? That shit crazy, yo. 140%? Bro, that's...
that I'm seeing are 2007, 2008, 1998, and 1999. And here's the kicker. Every single one of those analog years produced memorable Arctic outbreaks. The kind where they cancel school for a week, where cars won't start, and where they're still talking about it 20 years later. And it's not a slam dunk forecast, but that's the pattern that we're heading into for the 2025-2026 winter season. All right, so enough yapping. The bottom line here is that we are expecting an exciting, interesting, and potentially dangerous winter that's going to keep us all on our toes. And whether we're tracking blizzards, Arctic outbreaks, or severe thunderstorms this winter, we all need to stay ahead of those storms. And in this day and age, there's no reason not to have state-of-the-art equipment and applications to help you do that. And that brings me to today's amazing sponsor, WeatherWise, the best.
Man, fuck that. Fuck WeatherWise, bro. My radar till the day I die. My radar till the day I die, nigga. Send me that shit. My radar probably stop giving him that bag. Fuck all that. My radar till the day I die, nigga. If y'all still here tapping. Look, this was gonna happen for the winter. I ain't say it. I ain't no meteorologist. But fuck, we here. Y'all tapping, man. I appreciate y'all if y'all still here. Ski! Like, comment, subscribe.